in the sweatshirt. Louis, he's finally did it. He's representing. I think we've gained Louis' trust. He's brought us into the circle of trust now. He's wearing our sweater.
Like a skittish animal in the wild kingdom, the buff dude has finally gained Louis's trust.
True buff dude now. Hell yeah, good job. Alright, Louis. So we're in the gym, day 4, lower body pull. Yesterday we did some upper body pull. So now we're taking care of the lower body, and we're gonna start off some dumbbell RDLs. So we're gonna walk over the dumbbell rack over here. We're gonna go over a little bit of formulas. This exercise is an isolation exercise for the hamstrings. And so you're gonna be grabbing the dumbbells here. We're gonna start really light. Probably a good weight for you to start out with. Just kidding. This is a little too light for you. That's the very, very beginner stage. But we're gonna do something like this, just so that way you get the motion down. So what we're gonna be doing is holding the dumbbells to the front, and you're gonna be pushing the hips back. So just imagine you're trying to touch your toes without flexing your back here. So keeping that back really straight, rigid, and then you're just bending over, pushing the hips back, slight bend in the knees. So slight bend in the knees, but as soon as the knees bend just a bit, you want to, keep them stationary. So try not to bend too much in them. So where you're squatting down. So you're pretty much just trying to touch your toes, just like this. Feel that deep stretch in the hamstrings. You can even do it without the weight at first, just to try it out. So let's go ahead and do it. So, yep. So straight body, start here, and then push the hips back, slightly bending the legs, and then just kind of like guide your hands down your legs here. Just like that. Feel that nice deep stretch, but see what's happening is you're flexing your spine. So you try to keep that spine as straight as possible. And even kind of try to arch a little bit in the lower lumbar, the lower spine. So that way it kind of like keeps that back straight as you can and keeps as much stretch in the hamstrings as you possibly can. So let's try it. Bend forward. So flexion, so watch the flexion. See, here you go. Bring it back up. So let's bend the knees a little bit more. Okay, now go ahead and push the hips back, straight back, go down, feel the stretch, and then bring it back up, and then extend. So just imagine you're flexing in the hips and then extending. So flex down, see my back straight. You don't have to get a crazy amount of range of motion. It's not like you have to touch your toes or anything, but you want just enough for you to feel that really deep stretch in the hamstrings, and then you're pulling them to the top position. So the hamstrings are stretching out, and then just imagine you're pulling the weight up with the hamstrings, right? Okay, let's try again. Yep. Good. So instead of getting in this position real quick, Louis, instead of just kind of doing this and then bending over, push the hips back. Just imagine someone's pushing your hips back, but your back is staying straight. So just like here, yeah? So immediately those hips pushing back like this, you're gonna feel the hamstrings tighten up. So hips back. There we go, yep. Slight bend, really forcefully push the hips back. There we go, nice and slow, and back down. And when you're here, pull and extend to the top position there. Yeah. Down. And then extend, good. Okay, let's add a little weight on you. Okay, so right in the front here, right in line with the feet, good. Feet pointed forward, perfect. Just about hip width, maybe slightly wider. There we go. And hips back. Slowly got it down the body. Back straight, good. And then extend, perfect. Again. Down, 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 down. Keep going. There we go. And extend. It's looking better, good. So nice deep stretch through here. Kind of utilize the hamstrings to pull the weight and extend up through the hips. Good. That's it. Excellent. Looking better. Yep. Good neutral chin. Perfect. Down. And good. Let's get 6 more. And down. Feel that nice deep stretch. And then up and extend. Good. And really feel like the heels are kind of the main point of contact almost, even if it helps to lift your toes up, because what that's going to do is immediately kind of like put that pressure backwards on the posterior chain there. knees don't bend too much, so try not to squat down too much. Just a slight bend. Good. All right, let me drop that weight. All right, comments?
Nothing.
Nothing? Yeah, nothing up there?
Pretty awkward.
Pretty awkward? Yeah. You are 17 after all. It's a phase, don't worry. We all get over it. Yeah, thankfully. Right?
So, some of us aren't. Some of us aren't so fortunate.
Yep, here we go. Good. A little less bend in the knees. So instead of here, keep those knees just slightly bent but stationary. So try not to bend them too much. There we go. That's it. And then full extension to top, down. Good. And when you start bending over, keep your legs as straight as possible. Just a slight bend. And then bring it down and you can, there we go, yeah. That's it, go ahead. There we go, yep. Back up, full extension, boom. Push hips back, stretch. And then back up, good. Okay, with your chin. There we go. And stretch, good. Get a little, slightly less bend in those, on those knees if you can.
So just, why don't I just walk?
No, but then that would be a stiff-legged deadlift, and we were doing a Romanian deadlift here. So you want, when you're coming down, so what happens is as the farther down you go, like I said before, don't feel like you have to get you have to get the crazy range of motion, because the farther down you go, the more you're gonna have to bend to keep the neutral spine position. So when you bend your knees, the point of the bend should only be a slight angle here. So instead of keep bending here, because that's just going to relieve the tension on the hamstrings, when you bend your knees, just do it ever so slightly so you can get in the proper position for the back. But again, force your upper body to lower and the hips to come back without bending the knees, because that's going to create more stretch in the hamstring. There we go, that's it, good. Slight bend, perfect. Go back down, slight bend but stationary, stretch, and then back up, full extension, perfect, that's better. That's it, good. Nice. Even better. How's it feeling?
Good.
A little bit better?
Yeah.
Less awkward?
Yeah.
And that's what happens, you know. Whenever you're doing the exercise for the first time, it's going to feel a little weird.
Yeah.
But it's all about positioning, and it's all about learning your body too, because again, you know, lever systems change from person to person. Obviously, you're a bit taller, so you're gonna have to work into the proper positioning. You know, I can only say so much, be like, hey, you know, do this, do that, do that. But as you learn the exercise, you're gonna be learning your own proper positions to make, you know, you feel the exercise the most. So everyone's a little bit different. So yeah, but good job. So I get 2 more sets, 10 reps. We're moving on. Yeah. So Big Louie just wrapped up his first RDL experience. How was it?
Real weird.
Real weird. It was weird to watch. No, I'm kidding. Good job. You actually did very good on that one. It's a little tricky to get out down at first, but so now we're moving on to another isolation exercise, which is going to be the lying hamstring curls. Again, working the hamstrings. It's called the biceps femoris muscle. Now, the reason it's called that is because when you think of the biceps, just imagine here. Just imagine like this is your knee joint, your elbow joint here, and this is going to be the elbow flexion, so just like a bicep curl. So essentially that's what we're gonna be doing next, is like a bicep curl, but for the legs. So just over here. Okay. So again, like anything, we're gonna start a little bit lighter, so that way you can kind of get down the form and the function here. It's a real simple one. This one is only working one joint. What's that mean?
Uni. Something.
It is a bilateral, yes, but it's also isolation exercise. But so you're gonna be lying down here in a prone position, so your chest facing here, your legs are back here, the back of your ankles are gonna be right there. Okay. So now just imagine this is your bicep, this is your elbow joint, and you're just curling it, right?
Okay.
So you're just curling it straight in, all the way up. There we go. How's it feel? Heavy, light, weird?
It's like good.
Okay, it feels good? All right, 10 reps, here we go. Easy exercise, nice. That was so bad, right? Does it feel as cool as a bicep curl?
No.
No, it doesn't. I know. Unfortunately, it never does. But if you try to visualize as much as you can, like you're building your biceps, you're curling those legs, then it kind of helps you out a little bit. A little bit. I don't know. We'll see. All right, 3 more sets, 10 reps. This one's real simple. Kind of keep that proper form. You know, really try to, you'll notice the hips pick up a little bit as you curl up. That's pretty natural, so there'll be a little flexion in the hips. But yeah, mainly just gonna be right in the hamstring, utilizing the flexion of the knee joint, so it is an isolation. But one of these days, Lewis will get it. Isolation, compound, unilateral, bilateral. I mean, it's a lot. His brain's all going in different directions. It's cool. It's early. I'll just kind of show you what the position is going to look like. So in the seated position, just going to use this, kind of push down, set your leg in, and then just going to be curling straight back. Just like that. So, kind of very similar to what we just did with the lying. Of course, this is a seated motion. Hips are going to be more stable because they're forced to be in the flex position here. So that way it's going to isolate just that curling motion or the flexion in the knee joint just a bit more. And then pulling it straight, heel, try to get as far back as you possibly can. Bring it up, feel a nice stretch, and then right back down. So this is a
Unilateral exercise.
unilateral exercise. Damn right. Lewis is learning. Oh yeah. Okay, so keep those hips back, push the hips back. There we go, good. So there we go, perfect. And curl it straight back down. Just bring that out. That's it, just like so. Cool, 10 reps, nice and easy, simple. Good. Building the biceps femoris. Yeah, I'll quiz you on that later. Yeah. It's a very exciting exercise, as you can tell, right?
Oh,
Yeah. We're just watching your pain right now. Don't mind us. Okay, hips back. Let's get those hips. There we go. Yep. Nice. Nice and easy, simple. You can probably feel the activation quite a bit, right? Yeah. What do you feel more on this one or the lying hamstring curls?
I'd say I feel it mostly in my calves.
Oh, on this one? Yeah, yeah. So that's just kind of evidence that your calves are pretty tight. The connection's there, so I mean, definitely, you know, they kind of in some ways meld together in certain positions. So when you're pulling like that, you're definitely going to feel some activation in there. And since they do run a bit tighter, how we're kind of dealing with some cramping issues before, some tightness, that's why we're kind of concentrate on that. The flexibility in there, foam rolling, mobility, but yeah, so don't mind them activating a little bit on this one, it's totally normal. Okay. So just really try to concentrate on kind of that mind-muscle connection of that flexion in the knee joint, and kind of get that squeeze in the hamstrings as you pull the heel all the way back here. But yeah, it's all the learning process of the body, right? Yeah, nice. Next set. Yeah, Liz, you're the man. Yeah.
Forget their goddamn hamstrings.
Work the hamstrings, god damn it. Yeah, you don't see them. They're highly neglected, but they need some loving too. That's why today it's dedicated toward hamstrings. Thank you, hamstrings, for being the unseen hero of the leg muscles. Helping with the deceleration of the extension of the knee joint. You're amazing. Right, Lewis?
They're amazing.
Even Lewis thinks they're amazing. I mean, that's saying something. Wow. Come on, struggle's real. Here we go. That was good. He was giving it his all on that one. And the hamstrings are gonna hate you tomorrow. So we'll get some nice stretching after this one. and we still got some exercise to go, but you're doing good. We got one more set, and then moving on to the next exercise. That's simple.
How many more exercises we got?
Don't you fucking ask me a
2,
question.
3.
I'm the one to ask questions. How you doing?
Good.
No, we have like one more after this.
Oh,
Well, plus abs, so a couple more.
Plus stretching.
Plus stretching. So you ain't going anywhere, Lewis. You're the gym prisoner today. This is a very relevant exercise for today because it's very early in the morning, and this exercise is called Good Mornings. Probably should have done it the very first one just to be able to use the pun, but we're gonna end this exercise, or should I say workout, off with the Good Mornings. And it's just gonna be, just imagine if you're gonna be doing a squat, so the barbell is just right at your upper traps there, just like you would be doing a squat, but much like an RDL, you're pushing the hips back and get that full stretch in the hamstrings, bending forward, and then back up. So flexing at the hip, pulling back, hips, feel that nice stretch in the hamstrings, a little bit tension in the lower back, and back up. So down, just like so. And the legs are gonna be quite a bit straighter than they were with the RDLs. You can have a slight bend in there if you need to, just to kind of alleviate any discomfort in that motion. Keep the back straight. Neutral chin, but it's a pretty simple one. So you've already done the RDLs, thankfully, so you kind of already know form. I'll put the barbell on your back here. So here we go. Don't worry, I won't stand behind you while you're doing this exercise. That might be a little awkward.
So,
Yep.
you don't want my feet closer on this one?
Just about hip width. So there we go, perfect. Okay? Yep, so let's get the barbell a little bit farther back on the traps. Right there, perfect, good. Yep, so just bend forward like you're saying good morning to someone. Polite good morning. Good morning, madame. There we go, good. So watch that back though. So just a slight bend in the knee so that back can stay real straight and rigid. Yep, good. Again, pushing those hips back, even if you have to pick those toes up to keep that heels at the main point of contact. And then really watch that lower back. There we go, yeah. Good, right there. And then full extension squeeze, good. Slow, bend forward, good. And let's keep that bar a little bit lower, because what happens is that bar can ride up, and yeah, and all of a sudden it's getting that, putting that pressure on that neck. There we go, that's better, good. That's it. Push those hips back, bend forward. There we go, back up, good. Excuse me, bend forward a little less, just to keep it back straight as possible. Down, and then back, good. So one fluid motion move, so stop right there, get the full extension first, all the way up, full extension, good. So instead of pushing the hips back, then bending, let's get you to bend. Just make this whole unit, the whole torso, a solid unit, so it's just bending right there. So right the hips, so don't activate the hips first, then bend, because I think that's what's happening, then your spine's kind of starting to take over. So get all one fluid motion, right at the hips, there we go, that's a little better, good. Good, breath, rigid spine. Nice. Get a little press. Yeah. Oh yeah. How'd it feel?
Not too good.
Not too good. All right. Explain to everyone what.
It's pretty weird.
It's weird. Okay. Weird's the word.
I feel like it's more of just a stretch back here.
Stretching the hamstrings. Okay. So you are feeling the hamstrings.
Yeah.
Which is good. Lower back.
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Good. So there's a little bend, and in the comment section, I'm sure a lot of people will go off on this. There's a little bend in the lower back. We're trying to control that as much as possible, keeping a really tight core. There might be some slight flexion. Obviously, this is not a lot of weight, which this exercise you're not going to be doing a lot of weight on. It's really just activating, of course, the lower back, the posterior chain as far as the hamstrings, glutes, with the erector spinae muscles. Core is going to be activating, of course, the abdominal, just to kind of stabilize that neutral spine position. But it is very similar to an RDL. But of course, now you're not gripping the weight down here, so your center of gravity is not kind of pushing downward, it's not lower, it's actually a higher center of gravity, because now the weight is of course held at your upper back muscle there, so you're kind of forced to activate a little bit different muscles in a sense, kind of you have to balance a bit more just due to your center of gravity raising up, so it just kind of switches up things a bit. Good mornings are a very particular exercise. Some people might not want to do them, they might not like them, but this one is a pretty good one as long as you play it safe. as long as you keep that good form. It's just slightly lighter weight, but it is definitely working on that hamstring stretch, right? So if you're feeling the stretch in the hamstrings, is exactly where you should be feeling it. So, so good job, yeah. This is the last exercise for the legs. Then we got some rollouts. Those are a good one. Have you ever done those before?
No.
Wow, hell yeah. It's what the Transformers do all the time.
Oh, and is it for abs?
Yeah, you kids like Transformers, right?
Sure.
Hell yeah. So he'll know this exercise really well. Lewis, roll out.
Yeah. Lewis is a huge Transformers fan.
Yeah.
His room is just full of Shia LaBeouf memorabilia.
Yeah. Hey, come on, man.
Box.
Give it back. You gotta don't just accept our shit. Like you gotta give it back. He just accepts it.
Oh man, the YouTube commenters are gonna have a field day with you. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
So too, when Lewis comes up, you're not overextending, which is good. When you come to that top position, full extension, get that nice squeeze in the glutes. Because whenever you squeeze in the glutes, immediately it's gonna help stabilize everything, right? So yep, down the position here and extend, but you're not overextending, which is good, right? Yeah, squeeze the glutes, there we go, good. Keep pressure in the heels as you come back, and then squeeze, good. Oh yeah. Oh shit, do the behind the neck press.
Yeah, what can I say?
What can you say? Well, the comments will say it's horrible, but whatever, it's lightweight. Right? Lightweight, baby?
Yeah.
Let's say it.
Lightweight, baby.
Yeah, there we go. Abdominal rollout. Got a wheel here. This gym thankfully had one. If you don't have one of these, you can just actually have a barbell and put some 25-pound plates on, or 10s or even 45s, depending on what your gym has that has round plates, hopefully. So just gonna bring it here, get on your knees, it's about hip width, you know, and what you're gonna be doing is bringing yourself out, rolling yourself out into kind of a plank position, down, and then back to top position. So you are utilizing the hips, but once you're kind of down in the extension in the shoulder joint here, you're gonna get in that plank position. Immediately you're gonna feel that full abdominal kind of contraction, because it's gonna have to hold you in that position, right? And then you're gonna bring yourself to that top position. Now, it's gonna be pretty difficult, especially with this one. So we'll kind of limit the range of motion at first, so I get used to it. So we'll get here, kind of bring it out just enough where you feel the abs contract, and then we can bring it to the top position. So what you don't wanna do is keep a bent spine and do this, or obviously just use arms. So you do wanna kind of try to keep your shoulders pretty stable here, and you're gonna extend in the hips, just like so, and then slowly let that roll out. So you feel the abs contract, and then you're gonna tense the abs and bring everything back to the top position. So we'll kind of work it out a little bit. I know it's not rocket science, but it can be a little bit tricky at first. There we go. Now feel the abs contract and then bring it back up. Good. Yep. So allow the hips to kind of extend a little bit extra. So yep, let the hips keep going. So not the arms too much at first. So keep going, yeah, let the arms, and then now let the arms go out. Good. There we go. And then bring it back up. That's better. Good. All right, here we go. That's it. Good. So yeah, instead of, you're doing perfect job. But I'm just explaining here. So as you can tell, Lewis is letting the hips go first and then letting the arms. So instead of the arms first and then the hips are starting to extend before the arms. And then let the arms extend and then back in. So as Lewis can tell, that's what's gonna help contract the abs. But it's not only the abs, it's the full core. Because, of course, like we've said many times before, it's not only the abdominals, but also the lower back that kind of makes up that core. And he's having to stabilize the spinal position here to keep it neutral throughout this kind of plank position as he's stretching it out. There you go, good. Oh yeah, good. So we're doing 50 reps here. Yeah. No, not really. We're gonna do 15.
15?
No, we're gonna do 10.
Okay.
Good. Nice, good breath. And then, come on, you got it. There we go. Yep. So it's hard. So as you can tell, strength levels are 0. No, they're actually pretty good. You're doing good, man. So just kind of limit the range of motion if you're kind of struggling with any kind of strength issues, if it's hard to keep that position. Now, you know, just work into a farther range of motion as you get stronger. So in the beginning here, just kind of slowly roll out until you feel those abs tense up, maybe hold it for a sec and then bring it back in. So if you're someone that's pretty new and you want to kind of, you know, start out, just again, let the hips extend first and then slowly roll that out. So even if you're, you know, if you're just beginning and that's already feeling, you know, bring it back in. So limit the range of motion here. So, yep, abs tense, oh, bring it back in, good. So it's just slight range of motion. But of course, if you're more advanced, you can roll it out all the way down, kind of hold, and then roll it to the top position. So it's kind of a cool exercise because you can adjust it to your own strength levels. But Luce is doing good here, so what the?
I had to take it off.
What is
Getting
this?
hot.
You're not representing anymore.
I know, I need a shirt.
Are we not friends anymore?
We're still friends.
Okay, good. We're still friends. But he's better friends with LeBron, apparently.
How you feeling? How you feeling after set 2, Lewis?
Not too good. Pretty hard.
You're killing it though, man.
This is Lewis's vocabulary. Not too good, pretty hard, and weird.
And yeah,
And yeah,
that's all it takes.
that's all it takes.
Can answer every question.
He's worked it all out. That's how he's gonna live his life.
Louis
That's
already
it.
found the secret to happiness.
Just 4 words. That's all it takes.
What do you say to that, Louis?
Yeah.
Yep. Come on, you got it. Last one, Lewis, come on. Make it count. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Lewis is done with the lower body pull. This was week 1 of phase 2, so Lewis has got another week of this stuff, which will be good. And then he's gonna really nail that one, just like he did today. He did good. He did damn good. Oh yeah. Okay. So he's gonna do some stretching. Of course, you always want to try to incorporate stretching. Of course, with Lewis too, he's running a bit tight in certain places like his calves, hamstrings, stuff like that. So we're just gonna incorporate some stretch, especially after today because it was heavily on hamstrings. So we're gonna make sure he's nice and limber. He's not gonna cramp up too much. He's gonna get the weekend off. He's gonna rest up. He's gonna eat a lot, and that's what we're gonna try to cover in future episodes. Is a little bit more eating, because Lewis, of course, as you know, eating is very important for gaining muscle and gaining strength. He's been doing pretty good, but we want to make sure you're eating buff dude style, right? Oh yeah, certified buff dude over here. Almost. Without that. Okay. So we're gonna be doing another week of this, and then we'll return for phase 3, and that's gonna be going back to strength. So this phase was hypertrophy. Next phase is gonna be back to strength, and of course the phase after that, hypertrophy, is gonna go back and forth. So the next phase is gonna be kind of lower volume, but it's gonna be a lot heavier weights.
Okay.
So anyways, what do we tell him, Lewis?
Stay buff.
Yeah.